What's up, everyone? Angelo here for Curated Chaos, connecting the mindset you need to the creativity you already have. Advice, tips, and stories from other creatives so you don't feel alone in your journey. Today, on this episode, we're going to get unfiltered, raw, and dirty. This might be a mistake. I'm joined here with an old friend, the host of Boujee and Basic, Clarice. We're gonna give you a special 3-part series of our dirty ass lives. I'm gonna regret this.
Oh man, it's like we're gonna raw dog some randoms. You made it sound so dirty. like come on. But I mean, unclench your booty holes and just get ready for this. Let's go.
Well, folks, booty holes and assholes, enjoy.
Let's do it. Okay, so Coffee Meets Bagel, it is not an strictly Asian dating app. It's more like, I don't want to use the adjective nerdy because that's like a very like negative thing. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with nerdy. I love nerds, honestly. They're very loyal to you. So, Coffee Meets Bagel is like, they look great on paper. Like they probably make more than 200K a year. And they're like software engineers or product managers or like CEOs or whatever. They look great on paper. And then when you look at their photo, I mean, you know, they range from like a 4 to like a 5.5.
Oh, out of 10?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So, I mean, like, but they're great. Like, that's someone that you would bring home to mom and be like, oh, yeah, well, this guy is a blah, blah, blah at a blah, blah, blah. So great on paper.
So it's, yeah, but, it's kind of like it's great to bring back to your parents, but not great to bring back to your cousins.
In bed. Oh.
Yeah, in bed too. That's
that too.
To be really honest, that sounds horrible.
It does. And just like, wow, it just made me feel like more shallow. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm shallow, but it makes me feel like, wow, like you really care about what people look like, which is a sad thing. I feel so bad, but I feel like your pictures need to be top tier so I can, at least like it. Okay, that sounds really shallow.
That does sound shallow.
That does sound shallow. So, and you're only allowed 10 free swipes. Like, what the fuck?
So you really got to pick your nerd. That sounds terrible.
It does. And it's like, pay $20 to get more swipes. Like, no. I'll just go back on Hinge and Bumble where it's for free and get swiped like 200, get my finger cramps.
You know what's really funny is that when I was in the Bay and I was looking at Bumble or any other app, I saw a trend of women, and it was kind of like they on their like profiles, they would put like Oxford commas. And they would also place their personality test results. And the thing is that in LA, it's not like that at all. It's more of... So
it's only the Bay?
Yeah, or at least just like that area specifically for California. San Diego might be different. LA is totally different.
Yeah.
Like I check on LA and it's more of like, no, I don't want to hook up with you. 2,
straight up.
Like 2, these are the foods I can't eat. And then 3 would be like, this is what I absolutely love doing. and most, so if you don't like doing any of this stuff, I don't want to talk to you.
I don't. Oh, well, I mean, I feel like the women from the Bay are just so fucking different. Mm-hmm. Like, just like compared to anywhere else, like even I met some dude. I haven't even physically met him yet, but I talked to him like a lot. He's basically like, but he's more like a homie now. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's pretty common for bay girls.
Let me just make you a homie instead. But like, because he'd be like, okay, like I didn't even know we were like friend zoning each other until he was like, damn, this chick's hella hot. Like, what do you think of her? And I was like, oh, we're at that level. Like, want to know about my dick appointment that just happened? Okay. But yeah, like we met online and just now we're friends. And he was like, I can tell you're from the Bay just within like 5 minutes of talking to you. And I was like, what does that mean?
Well, where is he from?
Like, I really don't know. New York.
Oh. Yeah.
Can you tell? Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't.
I mean, I've dated like a girl from New York. She was living in LA. She was a makeup artist. She was working at the studios. And just like the vibe that she had she was very possessive, you know, like
really
anything that was like kind of hers, or she kind of had that territory of being like, no, this is mine. This is mine. These are my friends.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But like, we didn't last because, you know, I know a lot of different females that are just friends.
Yeah.
And
she couldn't handle.
No, of course not. And the thing is that, you know, I think from our history back in the day, you would know that like, oh yeah, Angelo knows a bunch of people. And they're all female.
Yeah, you used to help. I used to go dance and you would watch over all of us.
And it was just kind of like I don't know. it was just easy. It was an easy job. And
no, it was.
So
how long did that last for? Or how long did you have to deal with that?
Well, that's the thing. Like that's how I got to LA. That's, you know, I met a bunch of people that were go-go dancers, and then I ended up becoming friends with them. They're like, hey, I have a room for rent in my place down here. Do you want to move here? Because I was talking about how I wanted to move. I needed a change of pace and things like that. And I just kind of moved, and I like just picked up everything and just left.
Just like that. Oh my god, you so ballsy.
Well, yeah, I'm one to like just bounce.
Just do it. See, that's what like with what I want to do now. My lease is up in like just a couple of weeks, and I'm like more like, okay. I mean, there's really nothing to lose, and there's more like positive stuff. I mean, I can't go to my mom's house to do my laundry anymore, but I guess I can do it myself.
How old are you? 32?
Leave me alone.
I'm turning 32 in December, and I have done my laundry since I was like 14, but I'm also a man. So
I know a lot of men that have their mummies do their laundry still.
I mean,
is that weird?
I mean, like, best believe I'm still like a mama's boy, you know? I really am a mama's boy. Like, when people are kind of like, you know, why are you like this way? And why are you so...
To what extent, though? Like, if you were to go home and see your mom, like, would she like cook you breakfast, lunch, and dinner and do this and everything? Like, there are some big mama's boys out. Like,
I think I would definitely do the cooking most of the time. But I mean, if I wanted to just like hang out with my mom and she didn't want to cook, she would just buy dinner, you know? You know, and if it was ever between like my parents, you know, my parents have been separated since I was like 4. So if it was ever like for me to have like, you know, spend the holidays, it's always with my mom. And, you know, I mean, like my dad is like more of like my best friend. He's never really been like a dad to me. He's always just been like the boy that's older than me that takes care of me, you know.
That happens to be your father.
Yeah. But I mean, are you into mama's boys?
My last 2 exes were coincidentally very big mama's boys. Like one of them, my 5-year relationship one, she only visited 4 months out of the year because her husband was in the Navy and always traveled with them. But for 4 months, she was in the Bay Area. So I would have to move out of that house for 4 months while she stayed there because it was an apartment. It's very enclosed. And she literally was like, what do you want for breakfast, honey? What do you want for lunch? What do you want me to pack you for food for work? Or like, let me do your laundry for you. And like sometimes, sometimes if I like slept over, my panties would be there and she would fucking wash my panties. And I'm like, oh my God, this is very awkward. She's like, oh, Clarice, I did your laundry too because I saw that you had some. And I was like, yeah, this is fucking weird.
That's awkward for you?
But thank you. I mean, like, we were close, but like the first few times I definitely was like, okay, you're literally washing my panties and fucking cum towels that me and your son just had sex with. So yeah, it was kind of weird at first, but then I was like, okay, this is you. I'm not like, I feel like she's going to be like that forever. So, and then my other ex, same thing, very mama's boy. Like my last ex was very like into like decorating and like was like a good plant dad. I never got into plants until I met him. So that's why he was very like in touch with his mom. So I'm not like, hey, mama's boys, come to me. But coincidentally, they were just both mama's boys.
That I was about to say, like, that sounds like a really big trend. I mean, like, yeah, what is...
Especially with Asians. I feel like with Asians, it's very common.
Really?
Well, I've
what are you
never
trying to say, man?
I know. My bad. When there's a trend.
I know. It's just like, okay.
So I just admitted I was a mama's boy. No. But I feel like if a man treats his mom right, then he should be able to treat his significant other with that much respect.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have the same beliefs. It's not that, I want to hang out with my mom 24/7. I love my space. I love, having my own independence and like making my own decisions for things. That's really important. I can't count how many times I've been requested to like move back to, my mom's house just to be there. And, I would rather not.
Do you talk to her every day though? Or like at least FaceTime her every day?
No. I mean, we talk probably, every other day through text. I try to make sure I visit her at least like once a week, just to see, it's a big ass house. It's just her.
Oh,
might as well.
Does she have a pet?
She does not have a pet, and I wish she did.
Ooh, you need to get her a dog. A dog will replace you. A dog will replace you. I'm not gonna lie.
The same advice that you would give a girl that is going through a breakup. And
just get a dog. Just
get a dog. I keep getting told that. They're like, you need a dog first. Like, you don't need I don't think you need a girlfriend.
It's life changing. Like, just imagine coming home every single day and like someone is just like so excited to see you. Like every fucking day, even if you're just fucking gone. Like every time I throw out the trash, my dog is like, oh my God, you were gone for 2 minutes. Oh my God, I missed you. Like, just imagine that.
I think,
don't you want
no, but I just kind of want to have like I want to be, a stepdad to a dog. Like, I'd rather hang out with.
You want to return it whenever
I'd rather go to like a girl's house and play with that dog because like that's a better investment of time.
It is a big responsibility. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. And so if I can just leave when I need to, then it's fine. But like all of my homegirls' dogs, I love so much. They're adorable, and it does it make me want to have my own, dog child.
Yeah. Honestly, like this may sound fucking crazy as fuck, but me and my ex, we do dog custody. Silence. So what does that mean?
I mean, that's cool. It's co-parenting.
I only know one other person. Yeah, it's like first we started off with 2 weeks, and then we figured for a dog to adjust, it takes 2 weeks. So we decided a month. So every like month we do that. We switch off and everything, so it's not too bad. And it's funny because today he had his vet appointment and I was like, make sure you get there on time. Make sure you do this. And he's always like, you act like I've never brought him. And I was just like, I know, but this is the first appointment that I'm not bringing him. I'm kind of freaking out. And just make sure you put on his favorite shirt because that makes him feel very calm. And so like we're actually very cordial now. We used to argue like so much about like, we all know I'm the better parent.
Oh,
but
okay.
yeah, but it was very hard at first. So don't get a fucking dog with a significant other. Just warning you. Get it for yourself. But then you want to be a co-parent, so maybe just find a girl.
I mean, it's a living thing, so.
Oh yeah, it's not a thing; it's a human.
Okay, well.
Okay, wait. Okay, so let's go back to.
I know what we were talking about again. We're talking about apps. Like
I know. Okay,
like have you ever been in like how often do you actually physically like meet these people?
Okay, one, during COVID, I make sure that they're COVID negative, like they don't have anything. That's the one thing I asked. I was like, if you ever want to see me or have a first date with me, you need to show me your COVID results. Right. Which is, you should ask for STD results too, right. But I mean, I was gonna get there. But I have a 9-date rule, so then like that'll buy some time. Just give me the COVID results first, because I don't just want to not just see your eyes, you know. But I've had one really bad experience that scarred me, and I was like, fuck no. Like, I don't know if you guys, or if you heard did you hear my cringe hinge episode?
I was listening to a part of it and then it was too cringy, so then I had to change it. So let's bring the listeners back to this one. What was it?
So long story short, okay, so I hopped on Hinge, and I was like, you know, my sister met her boyfriend on there. They're very successful, whatever. They love each other. I met this dude. He's from Miami, but he lives in the Bay Area. We'll call him Bobby. Very smart dude, like extremely smart. And he also has his own business, which he has in LA. It's like a clothing company. And he was great. First date was fucking great. Looked exactly like his photos, everything. And things start to unravel, and apparently I attract a lot of red flags. Like, he was like Mr. Paranoia, like, just to give you some idea, like he put cameras facing me while we were sleeping. And so I have a 9-date rule of having sex. You know, I really try. 9-date. It's not 9 days.
Like a week and then plus 2 days and be like, okay, it's 2 days. like it's time.
No. Okay. Let's go to Pound Town. No.
Let's go to Pound Town.
Hella counting down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9.
Okay, let's go, baby. No. It's 9 days.
Really?
Okay, I've only been successful like once, but like I really try to hold off. I feel like
why 9?
With that, I don't know, just felt like it was like a good number, and people think I'm fucking crazy.
So like how often would you be going on dates? Like once a week?
No, so like with him, I think we went like twice a week. Sometimes he was super busy. He worked for a huge company, and he was very big in that company. I really cannot say it. But yeah, and so like he would have like blueprints of like stuff. Bitch made me sign an NDA.
Okay.
Because he was like, if you're gonna come over, you cannot see all these things, because like this is like, I was like, I'm not gonna steal your ideas, you know? Like, and he was like, what, like stealing ideas?
Just like legal NDA bullshit.
Okay, yeah, but that's really extreme. Just be like, hey, like I would appreciate it if you don't share my ideas. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I guess I don't know if he got fucked over before, but he made me sign an NDA. And I was like, okay, whatever. Signed it. Thought this guy was cool. Great on paper. Still, we had like 5 dates. We didn't even kiss. Nothing. I got a kiss on the forehead, maybe like a halvesy kiss on the forehead.
That's cute.
And then right? I got a halvesy kiss. And then I think doesn't really drink, and I'm not a heavy drinker, but I mean, like, I like to have fun. And we got, like, I remember it was like Super Bowl, and I got so fucking sad because the Niners lost that I got shit faced, and I was like, hey, let's go skinny dipping at your fucking pool. Fucking thirsty asshole. But I mean, it's been like 8 days. Okay. I think it was the 9th actually. Okay. And then so I was like, okay, let's go. And he was down. We killed maybe about like 3 bottles of wine between 2 people.
That's a lot.
And is that a lot?
That is a lot. I mean, coming from like, I would drink like a bottle of wine by myself, but.
And feel fine, right?
Yeah, sure. Sure. We can feel fine if we want.
And so we got shit faced. And then so I was like, hey, hopped in the pool, got in the shower, boom, whatever. And like, of course, who fucking showers with clothes on? Right? Took off my bathing suit. No one, right? Yeah, right? Right. So took off my bathing suit, went in the shower. Bitch fucking took off his swimming trunks, but put on boxers and then went back in the shower to shower with me. Still didn't get a kiss yet. It's been 9 days. Still didn't get a kiss. And so I was about to, give him a flight to Boston and fucking did it for like 2 seconds. And he was like, no, we can't do it. And I was like, wow, I know I look bloated as fuck, but goddamn, you're really going to turn me down? I was like, I didn't do cardio for like 3 days. So I felt like as a woman, I don't know if this happens to a lot of women, but like not to like toot my own horn or anything, but like usually women don't get turned down when they're naked in front of someone. Right. Right. It's kind of just, even if you're sober, to have a naked girl in front of you, you would just be like, oh no, it's okay.
Was he older than you?
He was 2 years older than me. Okay. And he was just like, okay. In my head, I was like, fine, just give me a fucking good makeout sesh or fucking something. And he was just like, we shouldn't do this. And I was like, all right. And my drunk ass just passed out. And then I tried again the week after. It was like 14 dates. Didn't like what he saw, I guess. Maybe he likes big titties. I don't know. I really don't know. But he got even more psycho and was just like, I'm very religious and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, no problem. Like, but then like, you should tell me if you're not into like, or you're waiting till marriage to have sex or whatever. You just keep turning me down. And I feel like the rejection for a woman, it feels very, what's the word? It's very like mentally, like you're mind fucking me. Yeah. Like for 2 weeks, I was like, wow, maybe I'm just not attractive. Like it really does a lot of shit to a woman when you get rejected. Right. And I was like, wow, okay. And then he just got crazier, put cameras while we were sleeping, put a Bible in between us when we were sleeping. And everything that you could possibly think of that's fucking psycho happened to me. So he needed to place the Holy Ghost between you and him. Seriously. I was like, oh my God, just give me a makeout sesh and I'll fucking do everything else. It's totally fine. But no. So after that, I was like, okay, no, I'm good off the dating apps. But then I went back on like 4 months later. But it's tough. It's tough to like delete that shit and you're like, yeah. Yeah, especially because like around like for our age or like our circle and network that we've created like back then, it's kind of impossible for us to not run into someone that we know. And it's just kind of like, I need to talk to someone that's not from home or, things like that. That's why you put your radius like a fucking 100 miles. That's terrible, No, it's safe. It is safe. But I mean, as a guy, you really have to do the whole thinking of like, okay, if someone is about 100 miles away from me, like coming from LA, that could be in Bakersfield. And like I definitely have like gotten like connections to like people from Bakersfield, but then the moment you go, so where are you from? Are you really from Bakersfield? And they're like, yeah. And they go, I'm totally good off this, yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, and also it's the whole thing of like, if they're around your neighborhood, then you can kind of relate to what they're doing. It's kind of like, I'm going to this grocery store. I'm like, cool, let's go grocery shopping together.
Yeah.
Doing small shit is fun.
That I know. I really love. Okay, this is what I miss. Like not with my ex, but just like in general. Just like fucking going to farmers markets and fucking just trying out the different produce. Like, oh, this one tastes really good, and all that stuff. Like, I really do miss that, and I feel like I love being in a relationship more than I haven't been single. This is the longest time I've ever been single.
How long?
It's been almost a year.
Really?
I've been in a relationship since I was 13.
Really?
That's so bad. Yeah.
Damn, you flipped your age backwards, and that's a long time, man.
13, that's almost like 20 years that I've been taken.
Okay.
That's a really long time, but honestly, I think even moving to San Diego, if I do decide to come here, I'm not going to change my name, but it would be nice to have a fresh start because everyone in the fucking Bay knows each other, especially Daly City. Yeah. Like I was, I randomly went on a date because I was, fuck this. I fucking went on a date. And we were fucking trashed, so trashed that we were like, we don't have each other on social media. And I was like, not gonna lie, I fucking stalked you on Facebook, and we went through each and every person that we knew together. And it was a lot. He knew my ex's sister like very closely. He actually lived a block away from them. So I was like, nah, bro. Well, actually he ghosted me, which is so embarrassing.
Ghosting is
ooh.
I think.
Have you been ghosted?
I've definitely been ghosted. Probably. I think about.
Be real.
Yeah, I think a handful of times. It's always been like someone that isn't like a close familiar, or someone that's kind of like separated from the circle. Yeah. There's one. And it's mostly girls that are kind of like fresh, kind of hear some stuff about like our circle, kind of hear about like where I'm at. And I'm kind of, if you really think about it, and someone tells you like, oh yeah, Angelo was in Vegas, and then he was in SD, and then he was in SF, and now he's in LA, and then he's going to go out to dinner and all this stuff, that kind of makes me sound pretty specific,
like you're fucking hoeing around,
and most of the times that's not the case. Most of the time it's usually I just have a lot of friends that I'm just gonna go eat with, and so I straight up was just like, hey, you just moved to LA, do you want to go grab some breakfast? She says, I'm not available for breakfast. Usually I'm free during like the evening time. And I said, oh, well, if you wanted to go get drinks, we can get drinks. I don't know what you eat. Like being specific.
Are you vegan?
Like being specific to like people's diets and stuff like that, it's a little bit safer if like you can either drink or not drink. But I mean, if you just want to meet up at like a cool spot, that's tight. Let's do that. Yeah. And basically it was just like silence until the next time I would like run into her in Vegas at a mutual friend's house. And
did you know that was going to happen?
No, absolutely not. I just went over there, and they were just like, oh, hey, so sorry I didn't get back to you. And I'm like,
it's almost like a per my last email.
And it's totally fine. I got over whatever the fuck that was. And
oh my god.
Yeah. So I mean, like being ghosted it's specific to the situation. But I mean,
but have you ghosted someone?
I definitely have. Person that we were kind of hitting it off, and like I'm gonna be really front with everybody and this also the listeners. Basically, I'm very open with like taking psychedelics every now and then. I'm very open with like taking mushrooms, sometimes taking acid, and it's just.
So you put that on your profile then, because like on Hinge you can put like.
Yeah, because like I'll say mushrooms saved me from Lexapro.
Yeah. Okay, so you're straight up right. Yeah.
So there was a time where she hit me up and she's like, "Happy Friday, how are you? How is this going on?" And then I took acid with like my cousins that Friday, and that whole weekend was kind of like a recovery. And I hit her up after, you know, on Monday when I was like coherent and I can like kind of respond to the whole thing, basically saying like, hey, sorry, I was doing this, I was tripping out, and, you know, I saw God and whatever. And so she was like, oh, okay, whatever. It's kind of turn. I guess I can sense that it was like a turn off for her. You know,
it'll only be accepted by certain people.
Exactly.
Like, honestly.
And that also made me feel as if like you have to be very forward and be very honest with everything that you do.
That's speaking of that. Yeah. Like, it's so weird that, well, not weird, but like I met someone on Hinge, and I've never met anyone so honest. Like, it was almost to the point where I was like, oh my God, you're kind of being too honest.
Really?
It was like, I was like, I've never met a dude like this ever in my life. Like, and then, so I think, okay, don't judge me, but, got trashed on our first date, and
nice.
Like, and like, okay, I usually don't have sex on the first date. I have that 90 rule, so we're gonna just jump from
joking rule that in. Okay.
But like, we just connected so well, and like, so, and I told them like right off the bat, I told him, I was like, hey, I'm kind of strict on this, and like, I hope that you can respect it and all that stuff. And he was like, yeah, cool, whatever, you know what guys say. But we didn't black out, because I remember, but like, we got fucking hammered, and like, we had sex like the first night, and dude ate groceries on the first night. Like, you don't even know my last name.
That's funny.
You want to go to Safeway? Like, but
go
like
to Costco. Wholesale. Quick to the point. I need that membership real quick.
Business executive. So then I was like, okay, I felt like a bitch, because I was like, hey, I know this may sound crazy, but I am very strict on my, like, this is after this happened. Like, the next day I was like, hey, I'm very strict on my 9-day rule. I don't want to revert back, but I feel like I need to strongly like stand still my 9-day rule. Maybe we can start fresh. And he was like, but we just had sex. And I was just like, I know, I understand that, but I think that we just need to start over. And he was like, so you want to work backwards? And I was like, it's not working backwards, but it's just like, you know, I kind of like would like to go on more dates with you, and like maybe be sober and like be cool. And then he told me, he was like, he gave me the whole spiel on like, sex is a very big part, and he is always like, I want to take care of my partner. And then he brought up like the whole honesty thing. He's like, that's exactly how I feel. He was like, I learned that with my last relationships, I wasn't honest with everything, and I want to learn and be honest and all that stuff. And every little thing, he even was like, he was like, there's also another girl like that is kind of grabbing my attention. I was like, damn, you would fucking tell me? And then I was like, all right, if you ever lock lips with this fucking female, or if you ever put your penis in her, you can drop me, hands down.
Oh, okay.
Deal.
So monogamy is like your fucking, that's your thing. Okay.
Yeah. And then he was like, thank you for being honest. And so, and then I was like, I'm not making you choose, but I'm like, this is just how I roll. And and now, and every single time, like we're just super on it. Like, we met back in June. What are we on? Almost November?
It's October right now.
Oh, pre-November. Yeah. But now we're so, even up till now, I met him in June, and we're fucking fine.
Okay.
And we're like great, and we're very like we even, he's not even he doesn't even live in the Bay Area.
Where does he live?
Marietta.
Oh.
In LA?
That's not LA. That is Inland Empire. That is borderline San Diego. Is that why you're in San Diego?
No, fuck you. And you. Fuck you. No, it's because I'm not gonna be close to my dick appointment. No,
Hey man, every time there's always a motive for my drive. So there's always a motive, whether it be a woman, money, or food, or family.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
So, but the fact with him, like, he's very honest with me we're always like, he's always like, oh, why don't you go out on other dates? And I was like, I just don't feel comfortable like going out on other dates, knowing that I'm fucking you. Like whenever I see you, like we're not exclusive, but I mean, like the fact that we're very honest with each other, we're totally upfront. I was like, holy fuck, this is fucking crazy. And I've never been like, and I never communicate my feelings. I think with relationships, I've learned to just like crawl up into like a ball and just not say anything. Yeah. And then so with him, like I can actually talk. It's so weird. Like I'm a fucking baby and I'm learning my first word like mama, mama. So it's kind of like that, but with feelings.
Wait, so are you still talking to this dude?
Yeah, I'm probably going to see him tomorrow.
Oh, so there is a motive.
There is no motive. There is no motive. I really want a clean slate and move somewhere where like, you know, where no one knows me. And it's just like nice. I mean, he's just like the cherry to the icing. Wait, no, icing on top, cherry on top. Cherry?
No girl has ever been a cherry on a sundae for me. They've always been like, they've always been the sprinkles.
The sprinkle?
The chocolate syrup to cover the whole thing.
No, you need to find a cherry. The cherry is literally it. Like, and it's not even like, it's so, the honesty again, it just like makes everything great. And like the fact that like maybe we started off fucking crazy and weird because he fucking went to Costco and fucking went hard. Like I've never felt so comfortable with anyone, and it's just like weird. And it's so funny. You want to hear like a weird quick story? Like we were together at a hotel. I don't know why we got a hotel that night, but we did. I mean,
if you gonna make a mess, you gonna make a mess somewhere else.
I don't gotta clean it.
You know, like that is a California thing. It's like you know how we'll be like let's go to Vegas, and then we'll be like let's bring a girl to Vegas. Yeah. And then I don't have to clean it because we'll go out after the hotel and it'll be clean, and I'll come back and I'll be like it's a brand new fucking set.
Think smarter, not harder. You know how many cum towels I gotta wash every fucking time? It's so funny. It's funny. Okay. But yeah, we got a hotel, and then I was like, I have a surprise for you. And then he was like, I have a surprise for you. And I was like, okay, besides the dick, cool, yeah. And then so we were like 1, 2, 3, like let's show each other our surprise. And we like both were like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then it was fucking, we both brought each other lube. And I was like, oh my God, did you think the same thing was happening? I kind of mad because like you were thinking we were going to do that. Only I can think that first.
Right.
But I ended up bitching out. I said no.
Oh. This has been a really fun podcast because I thought we were going to talk about something totally different, but we're talking about...
This has been more...
Anal. We're just really talking about anal and fucking eating asshole.
Go to Costco, guys. Gotta save some money.
This episode is sponsored by Costco Marketplace.
We're not getting paid, but I mean Costco, if y'all want to pay us.
Costco.
Be sure you have imagine if they had a giant size like thing of lube.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes part 1 of a 3-part series with me and Clarice. Be sure to check us out. Curated Chaos Podcast and Boujee and Basic. Have a good day.